Pregnancy is one of the most transformative journeys a person can experience. And with it comes curiosity, confusion, anxiety, and a desperate desire for answers. In the absence of modern technology, women from different cultures relied on old wisdom, ancient rituals, and yes, even the most curious methods to find out if they were expecting. Among the many folk practices that surrounded pregnancy detection, a few unusual ones have stood the test of time and oral traditions. One such trio of topics that continues to stir conversation is the use of onions as a diagnostic tool, the power of dreams to reveal hidden truths, and the early prototypes of pregnancy tests. While some of these may seem bizarre today, they reflect humanity's enduring need to understand life as it begins. Long before urine test strips and laboratory-confirmed blood results, people turned to their kitchens and their subconscious for clues. The humble onion, known for its strong smell and taste, found its way into ancient pregnancy detection methods. There are historical mentions of Egyptian women inserting onions or garlic into their vaginas overnight, with the belief that if their breath smelled of the vegetable the next morning, it meant the womb was open and not pregnant. If there was no odor detected from the mouth, it was taken as a sign that the womb was closed, possibly harboring a child. This method was based on the understanding of bodily pathways and the belief that scents could travel internally in ways we now know are not scientifically accurate. Still, for the women of that time, it was a test rooted in their best interpretations of the female body. Though today this sounds deeply unscientific, it is important to view such practices through a lens of historical empathy. Medical knowledge was limited, and doctors were often inaccessible or exclusively male. For many women, privacy and safety meant relying on what they had and what they heard. Onion insertion was more than just a method. It was a symbol of taking control in a world where female reproductive health was surrounded by taboo, mystery, and a lack of reliable resources. At the same time, another way women tried to interpret whether they were pregnant came from their dreams. Dreams have always held a mystical place in human cultures, often believed to be messages from the divine, the ancestors, or the unconscious mind. Pregnancy dreams were particularly meaningful. Dreaming of water, for instance, especially being submerged in clear water or surrounded by flowing streams, was taken as a sign of conception. Others claimed to dream of holding a baby, hearing a baby cry, or seeing a growing belly. Such dreams were believed to be prophetic, especially if they occurred in the early days after intimacy. Even in more recent times, women have reported vivid dreams that preceded their positive pregnancy tests. While science might chalk this up to hormonal changes or heightened intuition, the emotional impact of such dreams remains real. When a woman wakes up and feels in her bones that something is different, that new life has taken root, the dream becomes a kind of emotional compass. Whether true or not, that moment of belief can carry weight and set the tone for how she approaches the coming days. Fast forward to the evolution of more recognizable pregnancy tests, and we find a fascinating mix of innovation and folklore. The first modern pregnancy tests were developed in the 1920s and relied on injecting a woman's urine into female rabbits or mice. If the woman was pregnant, the hormones in her urine would cause changes in the animal's ovaries. While this method was more accurate than dreams or onions, it was costly, time-consuming, and far from compassionate to the animals involved. It was not until the 1970s that the first at-home pregnancy test became available, revolutionizing the way women discovered pregnancy. It gave them privacy, speed, and a degree of certainty that folk methods simply could not provide. However, even with modern science, the longing for a sign, a message, or a spiritual confirmation has not disappeared. Many women still report dreams that feel like visitations or signs. Some still explore natural or spiritual methods alongside clinical tests. What ties all these approaches together is the deep emotional connection women have with the possibility of life growing inside them. Whether it is an onion test performed by candlelight in an ancient village, a dream that floods the heart with maternal warmth, or a strip that turns pink in a bathroom stall, the experience is never just physical. It is emotional, spiritual, and profoundly personal. In the modern world, pregnancy can be both a medical condition and a sacred rite of passage. The internet is filled with forums where women share stories of unusual signs that preceded their positive results. Some talk about sudden changes in taste. Others describe feeling unusually tired or emotional. Then there are those who swear by their dreams. One woman may say she dreamed of dolphins swimming around her and found out she was pregnant days later. Another might recall a dream where a baby placed its hand on her belly and whispered a name. These dreams are not clinical evidence, but they are cherished moments that leave lasting impressions. Similarly, the idea of inserting an onion might now live more in legend than in reality, but the intention behind it was the same. It was a quest for truth. It was a woman saying to the world, "I need to know what is happening inside me, and I will use what I have to find out." That sense of ownership, even in the absence of science, speaks volumes about the resilience and resourcefulness of women throughout history. Some may laugh at the idea of an onion being a pregnancy detector, or dismiss dreams as the mind's way of sorting information. But what these methods truly reflect is something far deeper. They show us how deeply women have always needed and deserved answers. They reveal a legacy of ingenuity and inner wisdom that continues even today, albeit in more modern forms. Just as a dream might signal hope, fear, or change, so too might a folk method reveal the persistence of human intuition. If you were to ask a modern mother what tipped her off before the test confirmed it, you might be surprised by how often she says, "I just knew." That deep internal knowing might not need onions or dreams anymore, but it still exists. In many ways, the ancient and the modern coexist. A woman might take a digital test, see 2 lines, and then remember a dream she had days earlier that now feels prophetic. In that moment, both science and spirit join together. Whether through symbolic vegetables, mysterious dreams, or high-tech kits, the journey to discovering pregnancy is rich with emotion and meaning. And while methods may change, the feeling remains timeless. The flutter of possibility, the quiet hope, the anxious wait, the need for clarity, and the joy or shock of confirmation all remain universal. So even though science has given us precision, it is okay to remember and even honor the strange and wonderful methods that came before. Onion insertions may not make sense medically, but they do tell a story. Dreams might not hold a hormone reading, but they speak in a language older than time. And together, these methods reveal just how much we have always yearned to understand the mysteries of life, especially when that life begins within us. Thank you for joining us on this fascinating journey through the surprising world of pregnancy tests, onion insertions, and powerful dreams. It's incredible to think about how far we've come from ancient folk methods rooted in intuition and tradition to the precise science of today's at-home pregnancy tests. Yet even with all our technology, there's still something deeply human about the way we seek answers when we suspect a new life might be growing inside us. Whether it was a curious onion test passed down through generations, or a vivid dream that felt more like a sign than sleep. These stories remind us that pregnancy is not just a physical event, but an emotional and spiritual experience as well. If you enjoyed exploring the unusual ways women in the past tried to understand their bodies, we'd love to hear your thoughts, or even your own stories in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video. Share it with someone who would appreciate these little-known bits of history. Subscribe for more unique and thought-provoking content. Until next time, stay curious, stay open-minded, and never stop exploring the amazing ways humans have always searched for life's most meaningful answers.